Certainly, Caitlin Clarke has left an indelible imprint on the business of women's basketball. You had a big night, draft night, on Monday. The ratings were big.
The vibe in that arena for those games was unbelievable. Yeah, the momentum around followership, around these generational players coming into our league. These rookies have put on quite a season, and it's not just Caitlin and Angel. Rickea Jackson and other rookies are killing it this year. And then our veterans have really stepped up. Asia Wilson's having a historic season for the Aces.
The WNBA is on fire right now, but not in a good way. Players are calling out Commissioner Cathy Engelbert for some wild comments about race and rivalries. You won't believe what she said about Caitlin Clarke and Engelbert. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. This isn't just about basketball anymore, folks. We're talking respect, equality, and the future of the WNBA. Engelbert's words have sparked a firestorm, and players are not holding back. It's like watching a heated game, but instead of points, we're keeping score of who's standing up for what's right. Get ready, because we're about to break down what Engelbert said that got everyone so fired up. We'll dive into why players are furious and what this means for the league going forward. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this. The way this drama unfolds could change women's basketball forever. It's that big of a deal. You thought the drama on the court was intense? Wait till you hear what the WNBA commissioner said off it. Engelbert's words about the Clarke-Reese rivalry aren't just shocking, they're a game changer for the entire league. So picture this, WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert sits down for an interview with CNBC. The topic, the heated interactions between Caitlin Clarke and Engelbert, especially on social media. You'd think she'd address the serious racial issues at play, right? Nope. Instead, she drops a bombshell that's got everyone talking. Engelbert straight up compares the situation to the legendary Larry Bird Magic Johnson rivalry. She says, "There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little of that Bird Magic moment." Can you believe it? She's basically saying all this drama, including the racial harassment, is good for business. But wait, it gets even wilder. Engelbert doubles down, saying you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. It's like she's saying, hey, toxic behavior, that's just part of the game.
It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. One thing I know after a long 33 years at Deloitte, that you need three things in sports. You need rivalries, household names, and games of consequence. And WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons. We're going to expand up to 16 teams in the next few years.
Now, let's break this down. On one hand, yeah, rivalries can be exciting. They get fans pumped and bring more eyes to the sport. But on the other hand, we're talking about real people facing real harassment here. It's not just fun and games. Engelbert's comments seem to put business and viewership above player welfare. It's like she's saying, as long as people are watching, who cares about the negative impact on our players? That's a pretty wild stance for someone who's supposed to be looking out for the league and its athletes. Think about it. What message does this send to young players coming into the WNBA? It's almost like saying, get ready for harassment, because that's what sells tickets. That's not exactly the kind of welcome you'd want in a professional league, is it? And let's not forget the racial element here. By comparing this situation to Bird Magic, Engelbert's kind of glossing over the very real and very different challenges that players of color face in sports today. It's not just about on-court rivalry anymore. It's about systemic issues that go way beyond basketball. The commissioner's words lit a fire, and now the whole league is ablaze. You know what happens when you poke a bear? Now imagine poking an entire team of professional athletes. The WNBPA's response? It's a game changer. Terry Jackson, the executive director of the WNBPA, didn't mince words when she heard about Engelbert's comments. She came out swinging, saying, "This kind of toxic fandom should never be tolerated or left unchecked. It demands immediate action and frankly should have been addressed long ago." Talk about a slam dunk response. Jackson's words hit harder than a buzzer beater. She's not just disagreeing with Engelbert, she's calling her out for dropping the ball on player safety. It's like watching a defensive specialist shut down a star player. Jackson's making it clear that this isn't about boosting ratings or creating excitement. It's about protecting the women who make the WNBA what it is. But Jackson wasn't alone in speaking up. Players across the league started raising their voices too. Alicia Clark, a rising star in the league, put it bluntly. I wish Engelbert would have just said that it's not okay. Well, it's a simple statement, but it packs a punch. Clark's words show how disappointed players are in their commissioner. They're looking for leadership, not someone who will brush off serious issues for the sake of business. And it's not just about one or two players. The entire WNBPA is united in this fight. They're saying loud and clear that racial harassment isn't just part of the game. It's a serious problem that needs to be tackled head on. The players are drawing a line in the sand, telling Engelbert and the rest of the league that they won't stand for this kind of treatment. Think about it. These are professional athletes at the top of their game. They're used to facing challenges on the court, but this is a whole different ball game. They're having to fight against the very person who's supposed to have their backs. It's like if your coach suddenly started cheering for the other team. How would you feel? The players' response shows just how big this issue is. It's not just about Caitlin Clark and Engelbert anymore. It's about every player in the league and every young girl watching at home who dreams of playing in the WNBA one day. The players are saying, we deserve better, and so do our fans. This clash between the players and the commissioner is shaking up the WNBA like never before. It's not just about what happens on the court anymore. It's about respect, safety, and the future of women's basketball. The players are standing up for themselves, and they're not backing down. While the WNBA celebrates record-breaking popularity, there's a hidden cost to all this attention. Ever wonder what these players are dealing with when they're not on the court? The answer might make you rethink everything you know about sports rivalries. The WNBA is on fire right now, and I'm not just talking about the skills on display. Attendance is through the roof, TV ratings are soaring, and it's all thanks to the heated rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Engelbert. These two are bringing in fans like never before, and the league is loving it. But here's the thing, all that attention isn't just bringing in cheers and ticket sales. There's a dark side to this popularity that's got players shaken up. We're talking serious harassment, folks. And I mean serious. Some players are dealing with death threats. Can you believe that? Death threats over a basketball game. And it doesn't stop there. Racist comments are flying around like they're part of the game plan. It's gotten so bad that Engelbert herself had to speak up about it. Reese said some of Clark's fans were sending her death threats. That's crazy enough, but it gets worse. She said they were following her home. Imagine trying to focus on your game when you're worried about your safety off the court. Now, you'd think the commissioner would be all over this, right? Protecting the players, shutting down the harassment, making sure everyone knows this behavior is not okay. But that's not what happened. Instead, Engelbert's out here talking about how great this rivalry is for business. She's comparing it to Bird and Magic, like it's all just fun and games. But here's the thing, Bird and Magic weren't dealing with racist comments and death threats. They weren't being followed home by angry fans. It's like Engelbert's seeing dollar signs instead of the real human cost of all this drama. She's talking about how people want to watch games with consequences, how they don't want everyone being nice to each other. But at what point does that cross a line? Players are putting their hearts and souls into this game. They're out there giving it their all night after night. And instead of having their backs, the commissioner's acting like all this harassment is just part of the show. Think about what that does to a player's mind. How are you supposed to focus on your game when you're worried about what might be waiting for you when you step off the court? How can you give your all when you feel like your own league doesn't have your back? This isn't just about Caitlin Clark and Engelbert anymore. It's about every player in the WNBA. It's about the future of the league. Are we really okay with saying that harassment and threats are just part of the price of fame? Is that the message we want to send to young players dreaming of making it to the big leagues? The WNBA is at a turning point, and it's not just about the game anymore. We're seeing record-breaking popularity, but at what cost? Players are facing serious harassment, and the league's response has been, let's just say it's not what you'd expect. So what's next for the WNBA? Can they keep the excitement of rivalries without putting players at risk? That's the million-dollar question. The league needs to figure out how to protect its stars while still giving fans the thrills they crave. It's not just about Caitlin Clark and Engelbert anymore, it's about every player in the league and every kid dreaming of playing pro ball. The WNBA's got to decide, are they going to prioritize player safety, or is it all about the bottom line? What do you think? How can the WNBA move forward from here? Let us know in the comments.